Why, you'll always find him in the kitchen at parties. You will always find him in the kitchen at parties. You will always find him in the kitchen at parties.
Just had to be done, didn't it? Gotta get out, dude. But as the title said, yeah, guess what? We're back in the 80s. Cheesy pop music, blah blah blah. Kit which wasn't waterproof. And there's a mate of mine say it was 1980 something BG. BG? Before Gore-Tex. Yes, mate. In fact, the burger on my back was used by special forces in the Falklands conflicts. And I tell you what, it's a far, far, far away from the comfort the guys have got this day and age. Right, let's find a suitable camp spot and get off this soggy ground, shall we? Look at this, it's perfect. 4 trees, one on each corner. They're sturdy, which is good. We're going to check, make sure they're not dead as well. Time to make a bed. Well, some of you recognise the GS Bergen issued to the SAS at the Paras in the 80s. I'll tell you what, it's a small looking pack, but when you start to load it up you think it's never going to fit, but it's like a TARDIS. You won't believe the kit that's in there, and it's like half the size of the PLCE Bergen in height. I mean, it's supposed to ride high up your back for your belt order. It's an unusual tie system, which is great if you've got cold fingers. Just thread them through the loops. So the end of the weapon is actually sewn together, so you can poke it through any way you like to fasten it. Great idea. Always have your first aid kit on the pouch where you can get access to it quickly. You know it makes sense. Well, when you're going to put like a basher up, you really want to keep it above eye level, really, so things like this need to go. Today, going back to the 80s, as I said before, I've got the love this piece of kit, MOD survival knife. It's a tank, it really is. Have a close up of this. Man, you can shave at it. It's so tough and thick, as you can see there. It makes splitting tasks very good, and if you have to, a fighting knife, because you've got the guard there. It's a great all-in-one tool, and if you're really crap at throwing knives, you can throw this at someone. Either way, it's going to hurt them. So yeah, let's see what else you can do. Don't take long. This shouldn't take too long at all. Well, not many people have seen one of these. It's impossible to find a kit like this. I think only 50 were ever made, and these were issued to the SAS for trials in the Falklands conflict. And the story goes, when they were issued, men literally fought over them because they're that good. It's a DPM basher, but a basher with a difference. It's an auto basher. And you've got to be very, very careful how you deploy these, because if you get it wrong, it could take an eye out very easily. So I've got the pull cord there, I've got to be very careful. So this is going to be the only time I've ever seen on the internet really. These are rare as anything. So let's hope it goes well. Ready? Ready? Whoa! It worked! Man, that's quick. Did you see how fast that just went? Mate, top kit. Really is top kit. Well, I've just found some down trees. There's tons around here because of all the storms we've had in the UK. A lot of them are just freshly fallen. So luckily for me, it wasn't too much of a task to hunt around, you know, the immediate vicinity for the right sort of size timber. And as you can see, we've got loads of bark there as well for firelighting. So I'll be harvesting loads of that up later on. This is all good stuff. So yeah, I wanted to get off the ground because it's damp and horrible and it's just miserable. But it is January, it is UK. What I'm going to be using for this is it's like a basher. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but they're very hard to come by for some reason. But they're really cool. If some of you remember watching my video, a cup of tea in snowy woods, this was the actual basher that I used to keep the snow off. Now I like to store all of my stuff in compression sacks because it's just it's a cheap way of waterproofing the gear pretty much and compacting it down so you can carry more. That's me, that's what I like to do. So this is the said poncho, sorry, basher. Now what I've done is I've got my ground sheet, which is my parachute wrap as well, goes in there, and rolled up together is this. Now what I've done is I've puppered it together because you use this as a stretcher, which pretty much uses as a bed. So it's a huge opening like this, puppered all the way down one side. So I'm just going to slide my poles in between this, space them to how I want, lash them down like the others, and I've got myself a nice bed. It's just like I don't collapse in it, eh? To keep warm as well with this. Right, before I lash this down, what I thought I might do was just to cut some little notches in for this pole to sit in, just to strengthen it a little bit more. So, just going to do a basic marker now, so I know where I am. I suppose I can use this part of the video as a tag for Scott, Wessex Blades. First time I've ever used this knife and I'm just still finding out about it. God, you can see how green it is. Bloody hell, it's like it's almost standing. It probably was till a couple of days ago. It's totally different cutting into this sort of timber actually. I'm not used to cutting live stuff. Green stuff. I don't really want to make too much noise as well. That's better, isn't it? Well, it's just about trimming off the ends now because you don't want the big bits sticking out. In actual fact, one end of the wood is thicker than the other, and I wanted to keep the overhang to cut off thicker, because I'm cutting these as supports to put underneath, because I don't really trust my lashing, if I'm honest, because this is the first time I've ever done it, and I'm by no means an expert. So that's all I've done. I'm just a bit of extra security. As you can see, I've just put a little leg underneath, and I'm just going to do the same to this, using the thicker piece about there. Well, welcome to my home. Not too bad really. In fairness, total, it's probably about 2 hours to get it to this stage. I mean, obviously if you do this all the time, that time is going to decrease quite rapidly, I would have thought. I haven't tried it yet. I really haven't. I've just put that on there, so if this collapses I'm going to leave it in. But if it doesn't, I'm going to leave it in. So I've got a feeling she might pinch. Oh well, one way to find out, isn't it? Oh, 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 damn, that's comfy. With my sleeping bag on top, should be fine. Yep, off the deck, no problem at all. What you could do, if you was doing an arrangement like this, and it's really, really cold, you'd probably lose the ground sheet, and you'd have a fire nearby. And when it's time to go to sleep, you would just put most of the embers, just drag them all underneath the bed, and just give it 10-20 minutes to observe it, make sure they really are not going to spark, because you're going to set yourself on fire, and that ain't too cool. So you're going to get the heat from the embers just slowly rise up and just warm the air underneath you. I'm debating whether or not to lower the basher, because if the forecasters are right and it's going to rain in a couple of hours, I'm not too keen about the idea of rain blowing in sideways and getting me wet, so I might have to lower it down. For the time being, I'm going to leave it as it is, because I'm quite happy with it, because you can actually stand up, which is always nice. So yeah, pretty chuffed really. Maybe all the angles aren't correct and all that, but it's very impossible really to find woodlands with 4 perfectly spaced trees all at right angles, and it don't always work like that in real life. So the object of the exercise really has been completed, to be honest. I'm off the ground. It's quite sturdy, a little bit of swing, which is good. It's taken a lot of energy to do this, cutting all the trees and stuff and bringing them all to camp and cutting it all to size. It does take a lot of effort, so I'm going to need some calories now. So let me just show you what I brought along for this trip.